with a product like this to put some awesome marketing material together, which you will have seen on the internet, and of course the flyers and window cards look fantastic. Look, the auction unfolds in 3 phases. I'll praise to you the legal description. I won't go through the chattels because, as you would imagine, with a home of this size there are a heap of chattels, and then we will read you the rules of the auction, or vice versa, and then we will call for those opening bids and offers. Welcome folk, come on in, find yourself a seat somewhere comfortable. So let's praise you the rules to you. So I always do conduct the auctions in accordance with the Real Estate Institute guide, which is on the table there if you wanted to have a quick study. The vendors have specified to me a reserve price which I can't disclose to the bidders at large. Now, subject to that reserve being reached, the highest bidder will be the purchaser. If there are any disputes or questions around the bidding, I'll simply settle the dispute, or we'll revert back to the last undisputed bid. Someone here will be scribing for me, so we will have those numbers manually recorded by a human being, and they'll also being punched in on the screen, so you'll be able to see them live at home or on our screen here in the auction rooms. Now, any bid put down that I don't think is in the best interest of our owners today, I can turn it down, and any bid that is put down can't be retracted. Now, the vendor can also place vendor bids. They happen through me. I'll make it very clear that it is a vendor bid. That will always occur well below the reserve price so that you've got the confidence to bid back against me. If we do stall below the reserve, if I get a hint that we can get a deal together, I may choose to pause the auction and then negotiate with the lead bidder. So hopefully that's you if that is the scenario today. Hopefully we just fly over that reserve with a good battle. Finally, may I remind you, if you are the successful buyer today, you've got 2 important obligations. The first, of course, to sign the auction documentation, recording the sale, and then make arrangements to pay the 10% deposit, which is usually done with an electronic transfer on the first working day after the auction. So that would be Monday straight into the bank to sort that out. Let me praise to you the legals, and then I'll tell you all about this property, which I did have an opportunity to have a look at yesterday. So we are talking 36 Lakebark Drive in Kinloch, Taupo District. It is freehold, large area of 3,258 square metres more or less, legally described as Lot 18, DP 388759, with the title reading 387515. Sorry, my eyesight's getting old. You are buying the home with vacant possession. It'll be a big job because there's a lot of furniture and bits and pieces, but the settlement date is Friday the 8th of April 2022. Any variations to that, Helen? Yes. Yep. That's fine. We've got one variation which has been approved by our vendors today, so if you're bidding, you've got the confidence that those terms have been altered for your benefit. There are a heap of chattels. I won't go through those. I will point out we have amended them slightly. That's not going to change what you get. A stove is not there. It's a wall oven. We'll make that quite clear. The solar panels are solar tubes. Also make that clear. And the dishwasher is actually 2 dish drawers. So it's actually better than a dishwasher in my opinion. So we have changed those on the documentation. So I've just made that clear to you now so there's no surprises. Of course, the dryer's a little bit quirky as well, but it is as is, but it will be staying with the property. Let's take a look up here at the screen now. Some great shots by our professional photographer there. But mind you, on a day like that with grounds in a home like this, I could take photos like that. No, seriously now, folks, this is a huge home, 300 and something square metres, Helen? Oh, she's good. Yep, 305 square metres of absolute comfort. It's got 4 bedrooms, multiple living areas. It's designed for all year round entertaining. It's got that wonderful big fire with the Australian oak and the schist look. It's all double glazed, of course. You've got those raking high ceilings with skylights that have been cleverly placed throughout the property. There's a good shot of the kitchen, flows out onto that sheltered side covered deck area there, overlooking a gorgeous garden. Veggie gardens, fruit trees, garaging for the ride-on lawnmower, garaging for the cars. It's all there. There's been a lot of love and hard work go into this property and the grounds, and it is presented absolutely perfectly. Quite easy to maintain though, I might add. You know, it's really just an hour or so on the ride-on. Of course, the ride-on is staying with the property, so you'll get to have a bit of fun on that, or the kids will perhaps. Look, it's got the lovely big pantry. Here's some of the dining. We'll just go through these shots. It's got the Louvertech louvers on the skylights there. So 4 bedrooms down that hallway. The sun was streaming in there yesterday afternoon while I was visiting. Lovely and warm. And of course there's that internal access to the garage. Laundry is separate, so it's not in the garage, which I think is a real feature. Beautifully tiled bathrooms. So there's not been an expense spared here when the home was actually built in 2013. Time to move on for our current owners. Time for you to shift in. Who's going to start me off? Opening bids and offers on Lakebark Drive. This is it. What's it going to be? Certainly people in the room, no one on the phone here, so it's all in-house today. 1.4, happy to get it started at 1.4. Let's get it rolling now. Vendor bid against you now, straight up to 1.6. At 1.6 with me, I'll take another 100,000. We're heading in the right direction. At 1.6, clearly bid on the screen. Vendor bid, made it clear. Anyone else welcome to join in, looking for 1.7. I'll take another rise of 100,000 circles. We've got a bit of a gap to close at 1.6. Anyone else here? Looking for 1.7, I'll call it 3 times. Cash buyers, now's your chance. Don't get in a mud fight post-auction with conditional interest that you don't know what they're doing. 1.6 on a vendor bid, I'll make it clear. Looking for 1.7, I'll call it 3 times. First, second, third and final chance, I will be forced to set it aside. Clearly it's better than this. I'll give you a minute to think about it. I know there's interest in more than one party. What's it going to be? You could certainly not replace it for that. The land's probably worth $1 million. 1.6 I've got on a vendor bid. Give you that opportunity to bid once more. I am forced to set it aside. I'll call it 3 times. I'll take another 100. First, second, third and final chance. Folks, look, I'm really surprised. I mean, it's great to see you bidding, sir and ma'am. I appreciate that. We do have a bit of a gap to close at this stage. But look, I will be forced to set the property aside, back into Helen and Rowan's hands. Helen and Rowan, I know you've clearly got some good interest here. There's a bit of work to do from this level, just to be clear, folks. But certainly, I wish you best of luck with your post-auction negotiations. Right, that concludes my auction this afternoon. Clearly interest there at Lacebark. If this is your first time that you've seen this property, I highly recommend calling the webs, getting out there and having a look at it. It's a stunning property and it may be your perfect home moving forward. Thanks for your attendance this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We look forward to seeing you at our next auction portfolio. Have a good weekend.